Hi, welcome to the workshop, and today we thought that we'd just share what we feel has been some of the highlight layouts that we have photographed this year in the pages of Hornby Magazine.
Yes, right, we've had a fantastic collection. There's always been some brilliant layouts we've featured in the magazine, from tiny compact layouts right through to massive behemoths as well.
Oh, completely. I mean, one of my favourite ones in N-Gauge has been Scarlington by the Knoll Group. I mean, that layout was very long, very detailed, and we had a Getz as well, just a superb layout to photograph and feature.
Yeah, absolutely, full of detail and features on the layout, isn't it? So it's just, I think it's one of the shows off the value of N-Gauge as well, actually, that actually you can get a lot into a small space and create a realistic city scene it's about 22 feet long. So, in the grand scheme of things, it's not that big, but it's still big when it comes to N-Gauge as well.
Of course, and the major feature of Scarlington is that not just the huge bridge, but the drop below the bridge as well. It's quite a showpiece.
That's right, with the working cliff lifts as well going up and down. So yeah, fantastic layout. So on a completely different scale, I mean, one that's just been an issue recently actually is Conwy Creek Signal, which I went and photographed back in actually a long time ago. Actually March 2023 I went down to photograph that. Greg Coomber's layout. It's a fantastic O-gauge layout, and that's his first move into O-gauge as well. Previously been a double O-gauge modeler, and decided to take the plunge, and not just taking the plunge using ready to run stock, he's actually gone full SECR, so South Eastern Chatham Railway, where everything's kit built locomotives, rolling stock, wonderful painting of the locos, and actually a brilliant scene as well is created. It's quite interesting layout as well, because actually traditionally when you have like a branch line layout like that, you'd put the station at the end of the line, whereas actually on this it's got the station's the first thing you come to once you come out of the storage yard, and then the rest of the railway runs down to the dockside railway on the quay as well. So it's a fantastic layout there.
It really did look amazing, just in the pages of the issue that was in. It stood out because it was different. It wasn't your typical O-gauge layout, was it?
That's right, yeah, very different. Lovely layout, yeah.
Another one of my favourite ones, and it's actually a really good story behind this layout, was Catherwood, which is, we did a two-part feature on Catherwood. It's a double O-gauge layout, all southern region based. It's based in Melbourne, Australia, and I actually flew back to photograph it, not solely, of course, but the thing that I loved about it was when I shot the layout originally, I spoke to Glenn and I said, oh look, I like the extension part, I'm coming over in 6 weeks. Could you have it ready? And he had the entire thing ready to go in 6 weeks, and arguably the extension was far more detailed than the rest of the layout, and in such a short time he did the most incredible job, and of course that's also featured in our 2024 calendar as well.
That's right, yeah, exactly, and it proves actually that when you've got a deadline, it does make you build a better layout.
Yeah, and speaking of deadlines, making tracks, deadlines galore with making tracks.
Well, absolutely, yeah. Well, making tracks 3 has been an absolutely epic build. Something totally above what I think anyone, even when we had the first discussions and ideas about the idea that actually they needed a station to move making tracks on. Actually, I don't think we could have predicted it would turn out quite so impressive at the end of it.
Yeah, it was. I mean, the thing for me with making tracks was you look at the station and you're taking all the photographs and you look at the detail of the station signs and below the platform and under the canopies, and then you and me did a site visit to Milton Keynes halfway through the year, and I'd never been to Milton Keynes before, and I knew exactly where everything was. Yes. I knew where I was and everything because I'd seen the model so many times. I knew the location, and to me that was just mind-blowing.
Yeah, it was like walking into the model, wasn't it?
It really was. It's just everyone's walking past you like, have I shrunk? It was the most surreal feeling, but yeah, I mean, because I've obviously shot some making tracks, you've shot making tracks. It's a challenge with all the overhead.
It certainly is.
But it's so impressive on camera.
Oh, it really is. Really an impressive layout. And the idea of them doing the station, it was obviously a good idea, because they're now going to have 3 for making tracks the final frontier when it comes to Model World Live in April 2024.
I'm really looking forward to seeing that. And I suppose one of the smallest layouts that I've actually photographed, and arguably you couldn't say it's a layout as such because it doesn't exactly go round and round and so forth. It's more of a diorama. It was Norton St built by Stephen Fay. Yeah. It's a 6 foot by 2 foot or 2.5 foot O-gauge diorama, which could become a layout. But the detail that he had put into that, like the buildings were scratch built, he'd used those wonderful primo trees. It was just an incredible slice of the Somerset and Dorset in O-gauge, and I mean, I still look at those photographs. We shot them outdoors, and the realism that Stephen has achieved was just outstanding.
So another great highlight for me is a layout actually I saw over 12 months ago in partly completed state, which is now completed, which is Malcolm Bentley's model of Ranley Bridge, the loco stabling point just outside of London Paddington. You might remember that last year in 2022 we featured his stunning model of Old Oak Common. A model of Old Oak Common which is about 4 or 5 feet wide across the main depot buildings, and that was absolutely incredible. But Ranley Bridge was again just brilliantly put together. It's that connection to the real place, I think, and there's quite a few clever tricks in it. And things like there's the set of Georgian terrace houses that actually curve round the back seam, which looks superb. All scratch built to suit the location, and then his access to his storage yard is actually through one of the parcels buildings, to hide all the storage yard. But it's incredible to see, which will bring back a lot of memories of people who used to travel out of London Paddington in the 1970s.
Yeah, and of course we also had that at Getz this year as well.
That's
didn't
right.
we?
Yes, yeah, it was there. Yeah, one of the many layouts at the Great Lecture Trade Show. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. And then we can't go without mentioning Burns Highland, 1883.
Oh,
a fabulous layout from
amazing
the
layout.
Scotland 4mm group. Another brilliant layout. And we've got so many more layouts coming up as well in 2024.
That's right, and that's the thing. There have been brilliant layouts that have come this year. There's brilliant layouts coming into 2024. But importantly, your layout, whether that be a club layout or your own layout, could very well feature in the pages of Hornby Magazine.
Absolutely. So all you need to do to have a chance of getting into the magazine is send us an email to hornbymagazine@keypublishing.com. Send us a brief synopsis of your layout. Send us a few pictures as well, and those will go across the editorial team. They'll be able to have a look at your layout, see what you've got so far, and then be able to come back to you. And if it's of the right quality of what we're looking for, we'll get back in touch.
Absolutely, and of course, if that layout is portable, then there's every chance of it being invited to Getz or Key Model World Live as well.
That's right, yeah. So loads of opportunities. So it'd be great to have people involved with what we do. It's always what we've been doing. We're always looking for layouts and going and finding them to get involved with the shows and with the magazine as well. And we keep building a few ourselves.
Absolutely, so make sure you send those submissions in, and who knows, maybe your layout could be featured in the pages of Hornby Magazine in 2024. In the meantime though, it's been a very busy year here at the magazine. I'm sure it's been a very busy year with your lives as well and model trains. So from us to you, have a very Merry Christmas and a wonderful New Year, and we look forward to seeing you in 2024.